Here we begin where the last slide left off. I'm going to highlight some aspects of specialization and also the production possibility curve, also called the production possibilities frontier. Same thing. Now the next step is to look at the benefits of specialization, which is the reason why we went through all this to begin with. And so we'll just take the idea that the market wants to buy 16 web updates per day. And then we're going to illustrate the benefits of specialization. So first, let's take a non-specialized case. And this is often what we'll do in this class, is to demonstrate something, we'll show the opposite, what the converse. So we'll start out with the non-specialization case. Mary spends half her 8-hour day at each activity. So instead of doing all of one or all the other, she does half and half. So that's not specialization. All right, well, if that's the case, then it turns out Mary spends half her 8-hour day in each activity. Then she's going to produce 12 updates and 24 repairs, right? So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 4 times 6 is 24. And then Paula would produce the remainder of what the market wants to buy. So she produces 4 updates and 12 bicycle repairs. So 4 and 12 is 16, 24 and 12 is 36. So the total output of the two of them would be 16 and 36 if there's no specialization. Now let's look at the benefits of specialization. If again 16 web updates, if that's what's demanded in the market, and now they specialize, what would each do? Well, Paula produces all the 16 updates because she has a comparative advantage there. So she spends her 8-hour day producing 2 per hour and produces 16. That's Paula. Mary then takes her 8-hour day, producing 6 per hour, so she can produce 48. Now he gets 16 updates, same as before, but 48 repairs, whereas before it was 36, 16 and 36. Now it's 16 and 48. So you get more through specialization with the same inputs because each is doing what they have a comparative advantage doing. Now, how do people actually come to specialize? Well, countries do it through trade. What they're good at, they trade for what someone else is good at or some other country is good at. And individuals, often through a process maybe of trial and error and education, find out what they're good at. Next idea is the production possibility curve, or production possibilities frontier, indicating it's the farthest you can go or on the frontier. And this is what you can produce of 2 goods with given inputs or resources and technology, which is really just a method of production. It doesn't mean information technology. It just means some method of producing things. In the example that follows, let's look at the PPC or the PPF. Again, same thing for Mary for an 8-hour workday. Place bicycle repairs on the y-axis and web page updates on the x-axis. I want to emphasize here that the opportunity cost of the good down here on the x-axis is the absolute value of the slope. The slope's -2. The opportunity cost for web updates is 2 bicycle repairs. And then just the reciprocal of that is the opportunity cost of the other good. Note also that the points that are technically efficient are those points that are on the PPC or PPF. The points inside the PPC can be produced, but they're not efficient. You're not using all the resources you have, so you could move out there to become technically efficient. I emphasize technically efficient because later we'll use the term economic efficiency, and that's a different definition. But we'll worry about that later. What the book calls simply efficient, I'm calling technically efficient just to make sure we distinguish that from economic efficiency later on. Finally, note that with the given resources, you can't move beyond the PPC. So these out here, no, you can't produce any of this out here beyond the PPC. This one's highly problematic, so I think we'll just slide on by this one. Now, what we've dealt with before, you noticed it was a straight line PPC. It wasn't really a curve in that sense, but a straight line. Here, PPC with increasing costs. So the one we dealt with before is a constant cost PPC. This is an increasing cost PPC. And supposing you're a country that could produce either food or weapons. They used to call it guns and butter in the old textbooks. You could fight a war with guns, or you could feed yourself, or you could do some combination of the two. The idea here is that as you move in this direction, the goods or the inputs that you use to produce food are not really suited to weapons. So it's much harder to convert them to weapons production. So the opportunity cost gets much greater to produce weapons as you move down in this direction toward the southeast. And that's the main difference between the straight line constant opportunity cost PPC and the bowed out line there, which is an increasing cost PPC. Inputs well suited to weapons production, not very well suited to food production. And these resources are much better suited to food production. Always want to have your references at the end.